clenching her lips. The elf looked angrily at the protagonist sitting opposite her, who offered to negotiate, although she stated that they do not do this with people. At that moment, Lloyd with a mocking smile began to gloat over the mandrake root, which was already half dead, because he stated that they had almost reached an agreement, because he said that he would leave the plant alone, and if they did not attack, and also because they were hungry, he fed them meat, and they talked. At this time, the commander looked at him angrily from under his brows, because he stated that this was the best moment to negotiate. Lloyd crossed his fingers and looked at the commander with a smile, stating, firstly, that they could offer the survival of their race. The blonde looked at the protagonist with disdain, having heard about the survival of her race. Lloyd sat on a stump with his arms crossed and said that they could make unlimited deliveries of pork and also supply bitumen coal. In the picture, Lloyd continued to make a mocking face and understood that if they found out that bitumen coal was made from wood, they would not like it very much, but they could omit this information. The blonde looked at him with displeasure, bulging her eyes. The brown-haired man at this time grinned, made a face, clapping his hand into his palm, explaining this by the fact that he was sure that they always dried meat before eating it, and now it was time to cook it deliciously and eat it. He also added that they would build a special freezer for them where they could store meat. The blonde at this time pressed her lips through her long hair. Xavier sat between the commander and the healthy elf when Muira asked about the terms of the deal. The brown-haired man sat on a stump with his fingers crossed and said that he also wanted to survive. If they did not agree to his conditions, then all his people would freeze to death. He imagined this huge magical tree and said that they should allow them to take a little tree sap, just a little and every month. Then no one would die. Lloyd sarcastically raised his eyebrows through his long bangs and said that he would teach them how to collect the sap so as not to harm the tree. He sat by the fire opposite his assistant guard and the elf and said that it would also be much better if the elves themselves delivered meat, because he wanted to divide 100 elves into two groups, one group that would be busy delivering meat, and two would help them build houses. The brown-haired man bowed his head and smiled sarcastically.